Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Center, so let's talk Wilkes University women's basketball. Joining us is the head coach, Chris Heery. Chris, a good start for your team this year, a couple of wins under your belt, and here we are. We're getting into some of the teams in the league. Let's talk about the start so far for the Lady Colonels.
Well, so far we've been able to put a lot of points on the board, which has been a real positive, and also our shooting percentage has been a lot better than last year, and these are two of the things that have really helped kind of springboard us into a good start. Our only loss so far coming to University of Scranton, where we gave them a very good game up to the very end, and obviously they're ranked, I think, number 8 in the nation right now, so that was a good test for us.
Well, let's talk about it. You're getting a lot of women in the game, and you're trying to, get a little more sense as to who's playing well and the makeup as to the chemistry and different things like that. That could be something that you've tried before, and you try to get as many in there, fresh bodies. Talk a little about who's playing well for you right now. Well,
obviously, Elena Stambone coming back as our leading scorer has led in all 4 games so far. She's been playing really well. We have a good mix of some of the younger players, freshmen and sophomores, that are starting to step up, as well as some of our upperclassmen that have just been doing a great job for us. The reason we've been getting so many players in the game is that there's not much of a drop-off between the different players. So, when you're in a situation where, you can put a fresh 3 or 4 kids in and not lose anything offensively or defensively, it's an advantage because most teams don't go as deep. So while we have that in our arsenal, we're going to use it.
Well, you got different girls with different skill sets, and that possibility, I think what I've seen so far early for you is maybe a little pressure off Elena Stambone. Some other girls stepping up and chipping in 4 or 6 points. A little pressure off Elena may get her some better looks.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. Last year, our Achilles heel was at the end of the game. We lost a lot of close ones, and primarily because by the end of the game, teams were really zeroed in on her, and we didn't have anyone else that was stepping up in the scoring area. We don't have that same problem this year. I mean, so far, we've had lots of different girls scoring for us. In our last game against Alberta, we had 4 different players in double figures. Our first game that we opened up with, I think we had 15 different players score in a game. Even in our last game, I think we outscored the opponents in bench points, something like 29-4. So having different people be able to pick up some of that slack doesn't allow teams to focus in on her as much as they did last year, and yet she's still averaging the same. I think she averaged 18.9 points last year, and I think she's averaging around 22 or 23 right now at this point. So her points are actually going up, even though we're having other people chip in with more scoring.
How about the presence of Ellen Rich in the center? And she's hitting those 6, 8, 10, 12 footers now. That seems to be, if you could get those points out of her, those are sometimes difference makers in the game. And she has such a presence defensively as well.
Yeah, I think she's an underrated defensive player. I know at the end of the year last year, I was hoping that she'd get some recognition. I think she's the most dominant defensive player in the league. I mean, when she's in the middle, we're able to compete with anyone. Because first of all, she's able to contest a lot of shots. She blocks a lot of shots, and she rebounds like crazy. I mean, she's averaging close to a double-double with blocks and rebounds at this point. She's, I think, averaging like 7 blocks and 9 rebounds. So, that presence, even without the offense, is something that's really giving us a lift. When she gets on the side of scoring, though, I think that's what really makes us a different team. Last year, an interesting stat, whenever she scored in double digits, we won. So obviously we're hoping to get more games with her getting, 8, 10, 12 points, which she's certainly capable of doing.
Chris Heery, Wilkes University women's basketball coach here on the John Mendola Show. Coach, you not only get grittiness out of Elena Stambone, who might be one of your grittiest players, but you get somebody like a Chelsea Smellis or girls like that just play gritty, and they'll dive on the floor for loose balls and, take a charge, do things. Those are the kind of things you love.
Yeah, we do. We have quite a few players this year on the starting lineup and coming out of the bench that have just really given us that grittiness. I mean, so far I've been really very happy with our defense and how hard we come after people. Again, using so many players, we're able to come out and put more ball pressure on, put more full court pressure on. And my opinion is it wears teams down. I thought one of the best games we played was against Marywood. Marywood's a very good team this year, and it was a close game until the last few minutes, where I really think that we were able to wear them down a little bit and pull away at the end. So that grittiness that we're getting from some of those players is really helping.
Chris, and that's been kind of the theme, as you mentioned. You're getting that defensive play, you're getting the grittiness, putting the ball in the hole, and just getting those 5, 10, 15 points. Sometimes they're the simple shots, but it seems like this year some of these girls are stepping up, and you have a nice freshman class that came in. You're getting those points this year.
Yeah, and as long as they continue to contribute. Some of the other contributors that have really been a nice surprise, Cara Basil, last year she was out with an ACL. And this year, she's one of our players that's been coming off the bench, that's been giving us 6, 8 points a game. Haley, sophomore this year, she's a dynamite outside shooter. So when she's in the game at the same time as Elena is, it gives us a deep threat from both sides of the court. So that has opened up a lot of stuff with Elena. And then some of our freshmen coming in have been really good. Emily Sofranco has been doing a great job as our backup point guard. And again, it helps not having any letdown when your starting point guard needs a break, that your backup point guard is going in and doing a fantastic job like that. Just it gives a lot of options for us.
Yeah, the Sofranco girl is a real spark plug out there. Comes out of a nice program down there in the Schuylkill League, that's for sure. Coach, as the season goes on here, you're going to start getting into some play this week. A game Wednesday, a game Saturday. You're going to start finding out a little bit more of what you're about, but a 3-1 start. Tell us about what you're looking forward to in the next week here.
Well, I mean, our next game is against Eastern down at Eastern, and Eastern, I think, is probably one of the better teams in the league. Obviously, FDU coming back after having no losses last year, they're obviously the favorite to take the league. But I've gotten to watch Eastern twice now live, and they are the real deal. They've been, averaging 80 to 90 points a game and playing some real good ball. That's who we end up facing against Wednesday, and then Saturday we're home against Manhattanville. Again, one of those very athletic teams that in the past has given us trouble. We're hoping that we can match up with them athletically this year and, get a league win out of them. And, one of the things about our league this year, going from top to bottom, there's not any weak teams in the league. So it's like every single game, you just have to be well prepared. You have to make sure the players are up for every game, and anyone can win it this year.
I think it's going to be a good season for the Wilkes University Lady Colonels. 3-1 start. Got some tough ones right off the bat here. But, Coach, we appreciate your time. Look forward to talking to you in the near future.
Thank you.
Chris Heery, Wilkes University women's basketball here on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.